I'll put Philadelphia in. 7 of their 9 wins, though, have come in one-score games. They're 3-5 when allowing 21-plus points. And in the playoffs, you're going to face better quarterbacks. Their defense, it's excellent. The roster is excellent, but I don't trust Jalen Hurts or Nick Sirianni in big spots. Again, they play the Commanders twice in the next 3 weeks, so they're going to flex and look impressive. But this offense feels like it's been broken since week 1.
Number 9.
The Jags. You can't run on them. And Liam Cohen has done wonders for Trevor Lawrence's confidence. He's running more. They have the number 1 scoring offense and number 2 scoring defense on their 5-game winning streak. Do I trust them in a big spot? No. But this is the closest version of the Trevor Lawrence we all fell in love with at Clemson. I have the Jags at 9.
Number 8.
The Bills. Listen, they got totally worked for the first half of that game after losing to New England. Everybody thinks, well, they scored on 5 straight touchdown drives. Okay, they do run the ball, but are so overly dependent on Superman at quarterback. Yes, Josh Allen has been very good in December games. I'll give you that. And in the last couple of weeks, they have almost 600 total yards. Josh Allen does. So I'm not saying he's not great. Don't trust them situationally. Don't trust anybody with a ball in their hands other than Josh Allen. I have him at 8.
Number 7.
Elite coaching. Maybe the best coaching staff this year in the league. Saleh on defense, doing it with smoke and mirrors, and Kyle Shanahan. 4 wins in a row, all by 10-plus points. Brock Purdy finally, I thought this week, finally looked totally healthy, had a lot of juice, a lot of energy. I mean, their 4 losses have come against good teams, the Rams and the Jags and the Texans and the Bucs. So they beat the teams they should. And right now, on 3rd down with Brock Purdy, they move the chains. So this is a very dangerous team.
Number 6.
But Seattle's got a big boy defense. Sam Darnold, yes, he leads the NFL in giveaways, but he also leads in yards per attempt. It is a big play offense that can also play with a lead. They can play conservatively and win because they can run the ball, well coached, play defense. Second best odds right now to win the Super Bowl. 23 straight games not allowing somebody 100 yards rushing, meaning if you beat them, Sam Darnold's going to get his 13 possessions. JSN's going to get 13 possessions. That running game's going to work. I think they're going to be a really tough out Seattle at 6.
Number 5.
I still like the Patriots. They had a bad half. It happens. They're a young team, missing their left tackle and their left guard. Their issue is they're not very good in the red zone on either side of the ball, and that's why I don't think they're a Super Bowl team. They're not good defensively. They need another draft. I've been saying it all year. They're ahead of schedule. They need another draft. They need more help on the offensive line and more help in the secondary.
Number 4.
The Bears. Tell me what they don't do. They play in bad weather very well. They run the ball. They're dynamic. Great offensive coach. Excellent O-line. Take the ball away. What don't they do? They're built for January. Well, there can be Caleb's completion percentage. Oh, Lord. He's so gifted. I'm just going to 8-2 over their last 10 games. Number 1 rush offense since week 5. Number 2 in big plays. They feel like a team that could end up in the conference championship. Tell me what they don't do. Complete bubble screens. Okay, you got me there. That's what college quarterbacks need. I have them at number 4.
Number 3.
I think the Texans' defense is the best unit in pro football. They're 8-0 if they can just score 20 points. Number 1 scoring defense. I mean, they faced that Rams offense early in the season, held them to 14 points. And I've always liked C.J. Stroud. I don't get the criticisms. If you give him 2.5 seconds, he's outstanding. I really like Houston. I think they're going to make the AFC Championship. I'm not sure who they're going to face. Probably Denver, but I think the Texans right now are a buy.
Number 2.
Denver. Listen, can we stop arguing about Bo Nix? I've been comparing him to Caleb Williams for weeks. I wish he was a little more consistent, but the guy is an unbelievable athlete. He doesn't take sacks. I said he's a right-handed Steve Young. He was dreadful for about a 4-week period earlier this year. Well, Caleb couldn't get the operations down in September. But between Caleb and Bo Nix, we got to stop doubting them. Opposing teams, by the way, are 3-10 after facing Denver. So they beat you and they beat you up.
Number 1.
Listen, the Rams, most complete roster in the NFL, although I don't love their corners. Outgained their opponents in the last month by over 500 yards. But Blake Corum has now popped at running back, so they have a 1-2 punch. They have 4 tight ends who are capable. Devontae will probably be out for 3 weeks. They don't get the pass rush. I think they should for the talent they have, but some of that is none of their pass rushers, outside of Poona Ford, who's a run stopper, they're all kids. They're not in their prime yet. I have the Rams at number 1.
The Pittsburgh Steelers defeated the Miami Dolphins in a game that left the commentary team of Troy Aikman and Joe Buck both bewildered and amused. They spent much of the broadcast laughing, cracking jokes, and even talking about singing songs, utterly confused by the Dolphins' decision-making. Miami showed no sense of urgency when they needed it, then attempted onside kicks and used timeouts when down multiple scores, leading to the question, were they even trying to win? It was an absurd, strange contest, but a fantastic performance by the Steelers. This was an awesome game from Pittsburgh. The Dolphins had been playing well and winning games, and they started this one with physicality. However, the Steelers' defense was simply awesome, violent and dominant, reminiscent of what I've said about the Seahawks and Texans' defenses this season, and Aaron Rodgers? Flawless. Absolutely flawless. This game was the perfect showcase of what an elite, veteran quarterback provides. An elite processor who knows how to run an offense at the highest level, understands every defensive look, and can manipulate the game. It's why Rodgers gets frustrated. It's the classic super genius dilemma where others can't always keep up. I'm not commenting on his personal life, but in football terms, he's a super genius, and it was on full display. It's the same reason a team like the Colts once chose Phillip Rivers over a young practice squad player. Rodgers is just a superior current example. That touchdown to DK Metcalf? My goodness, talk about violence. The throw, the catch, the get away from me, stiff arm. It was a statement play. Jalen Ramsey's defense was violent. Rodgers was slinging it everywhere, putting everyone in the right position. And Gainwell? Those were grown man, full body runs where he refused to go down. This is the kind of game that makes you wonder why the Steelers don't bring this level of effort and intensity every week. It's why people get frustrated and even call for Mike Tomlin's head, because this is what the team is capable of. This was a high-functioning offense paired with a defense that said, "Not today. I don't care what you've been doing. It won't work here." Holding the Dolphins to just 63 rushing yards and turning Tua Tagovailoa into a passer? Dominant. The box score is fascinating. You look at Tua's line, 22-28, 254 yards, a touchdown, an interception, a 113.4 rating, and think, he played okay. He was sacked 4 times and had no run support. It wasn't the worst performance, but the defense completely owned this game. This was classic Steelers football in the freezing cold. Just grown men getting after it, completely connected. When Gainwell broke that big run, the first guy there to meet him was Aaron Rodgers. When DK scored, the celebration felt like his first touchdown in years after a horrific injury. Pure joy, like Derrick Rose's 50-point night. This team cares about each other, holds each other accountable, and believes. They're not just going through the motions, it's impressive. Nico Collins getting a touchdown like he's been there all season. It was just a great, great Steelers win. As Troy mentioned, the Steelers' playoff path is tight. Technically, they could lose their next 2, but beat the Ravens and still get in due to tiebreakers. I'll trust him on that. It seems their only realistic path is winning the division. If they don't, they're likely out. The Texans would have to collapse for a wild card spot to open up, which seems unlikely. If the Steelers win the division, they'd be the 4th seed, hosting the 5th seed. That could be the Texans, if they beat the Chargers and hold the tiebreaker over Buffalo, or the Chargers. A home playoff game in freezing Pittsburgh against a young C.J. Stroud-led Texans team or a limping Chargers squad is an interesting proposition. The Steelers' brutal defense against a rookie QB in the cold or against a Chargers offensive line that's a mess. It's a matchup where you could see a path to a playoff win. It doesn't feel like a guaranteed one-and-done scenario, unlike last year against the Ravens. The hardest matchup would be Buffalo, as the Steelers learned earlier. But against Houston or Los Angeles, there's a legitimate playoff win in sight. I'm not making predictions, but it's on the table. If they win a wildcard game, even the divisional round could present a favorable matchup against a young team or one hanging by a thread. There's reason for genuine optimism. They control their destiny. With a little luck, they could even have the division wrapped up before Week 18, allowing them to rest players. The worst playoff draw would be Buffalo, but there are potential paths that are more favorable. I think there's reason for genuine optimism here. We'll see what the talking heads say. I'm sure some will say, "I told you so," about the Steelers and Rodgers. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. Whether you agree or disagree, let's discuss, debate, and ultimately have some fun. Please consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I'd love for you to be part of it. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It really helps. Thank you so much. See you next time.